Hello my dear friend, I wish you wisdom. Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to share with you a book review and the book that we will be speaking about today. It's called It Is Done, the final step to instant manifestations, and the author is Richard Dutz. I have heard about this author for quite some time, but I did not read all his books. He has many titles published, and all of them revolve around the idea of manifesting your dream life and the law of attraction. So I've picked, when I was in the mood, a book here and there from this author, and I have to say that he has a very calm and motivating tone and energy. So it's a very pleasant material. But if you are familiar with the esoteric and the occult, if you are familiar with manifesting and things like that, you'll see that many ideas that you'll find in the book, in this book, are present in other books as well. So it's not groundbreaking, so to speak, but it's a pleasant read. You will have many aha moments, and obviously Richard Dutz presents this subject of manifesting your dream life in his own way. So yeah, let's jump into the book. Here is the table of contents, and I have to say that this is a quite small book, has less than 100 pages, so it's a very quick read. Okay. So this is the first chapter, which is called My Personal Adventures with Manifestation. And here the author presents the reader a little bit of background with where he started with manifestation. In this chapter he presents this idea that there are two groups of people: those that understand very quickly and grasp very easily the principles of manifesting, and the second group of people are those who struggle in the process, and it takes a while for these people in the second group to actually understand on an experiential level how to manifest what they want. And the author here says that he is part actually of the second group of people, because he struggled for almost 10 years to figure things out. And I have to say that I myself am part from the second group as well. And when I've read this chapter and Richard's story, it hit home because I as well did not understand a lot of concepts in the beginning stages, and I had to go through trial and error in order to learn. So it's a good intro chapter that sets the mood, and the author offers some wisdom that will make you have many aha moments. But also in this chapter, the main idea is presented of the fact that people, in order to manifest, have to get rid of blockages, which are negative beliefs, thoughts, the way you speak in your mind. So basically thought control. And here is a paragraph that I highlighted, which I like. So at their very basis, these universal laws are about just that: living the good life. Indeed they are. So yeah. Another paragraph: you are always doing the asking, because creating is the asking. And I like the way he ended this chapter. Remove your worries and your manifestations will come very quickly. Indeed. Okay, so this is chapter 2, which is called This Finally Made the Difference for Me. In chapter 2, Richard goes deeper into the subject of worry and why worrying blocks your manifestations. He presents in this chapter basically several of his stories in which he had these fears. Although he knew about the universal laws, he still had these limiting beliefs. But here is my own take with this subject of blockages. When I started to do thought control, when I started to control what came out of my mouth, what I engaged in imagining day by day, I started to gain little by little this awareness that yes, thoughts are actually things. So I started to pay more attention to what is happening in my world, in the material plane, as well on the inside. And let me tell you, I learned about thought control. The first time I learned it from Franz Bardon, and then I found the same idea but presented a little bit different in Neville's book. And when I started to practice it, it was very, very hard at first to resist imagining, for example, negative outcomes to my situations. But it's a discipline in itself. Just like going to the gym and exercising your body, so it is with this mind control at first. It's very hard in the beginning, but as you continue to do it, it will become second nature. So the whole idea of magic is that if you focus your whole energy in just one direction, you will see that you will get what you want, because that's the only thing that you will occupy your mind, your actions, your imagination, your speech with what you want in life. And that's basically what we have to do. We have to focus only on what we want in order to achieve that happiness that we strive for, and to remove everything else. Yeah, and this is a little paragraph that I highlighted. I mean, when I read, I highlight a lot, but I like this one as well. Little did I know that these worrying feelings in general were preventing my manifestations from happening. So true. Okay. So yeah. In chapter 3, this is called How the Answer I Needed Was Shown to Me. Okay, so in this chapter, the author speaks about how certain answers that he deeply needed came to him. And basically, he said that one day he asked the universe to give him some answers, and in his awareness, it came a book title that contained basically what he needed to hear in order to get out of that particular situation. So when I read this chapter, it was a confirmation that I am not the only one doing these things. whenever I want to get an answer to any problem, I learned a simple trick that works every single time. And the way to receive answers from your intuition or the universe, the source, however you want to call it, it's done in this manner. So let's say that you want an answer to know in which direction you want to go in terms of your career or what to do in your relationship and so forth. The first step that you have to take is to go somewhere in your house where you can be alone for a few moments and lay down. Just lay down or sit in a relaxed position. But before you begin this exercise, I want you to state out loud the question that you have. So let's say that it's a relationship situation. Just state out loud, I want the answer to these particular questions in regards to my relationship. I want this answer to come to me in my awareness right now that will make me understand what to do. So basically you are speaking out loud with the source. You are asking it to give you the answers. Okay, so this is the first step. You have to ask it out loud. Then you have to relax the body. And how do you relax the body? The simplest way to relax the body, obviously, is to sit in a comfortable position, but then you can just focus on your breath, okay? And while you are focusing on your breath, you just listen to the air around you. And you will see that this procedure is very easy. And while you are focusing on your breath, you'll see that it will happen as if you are remembering something. In the same manner as you are remembering something, the answer will pop in your mind, into your awareness. And when these insights come from within you, you will not feel them in the head area of your body, but you will feel them in the solar plexus area or your heart area. And that's how you know, that's the simplest way in which you can know that the answers are coming from the right place. So basically here in this chapter 3, the author explains how this insight was dropped into his awareness. Then in chapter 4, which is called The Tales of Two Students, the author here shares a few stories about two persons that followed his teachings and how everything ended up for them. And yeah, that was very interesting to read about as well. Okay. Yeah, another thing that I want to highlight in this video, that I highlighted in this book as well, let me read it for you. No one else has to know that you are doing the work except you. This is very, very important. I was actually part of some meetings with my boss, and he made a few crucial mistakes, business mistakes and personal mistakes that are related to this paragraph right here. He's a very, very good guy, but whenever he has some plans to improve the business or to do certain things or to improve his life and so on, before actually achieving the results. So before he actually reaches the destination, he always speaks with his team about his plans. And throughout the years, he actually recognized in a meeting that because he spoke about his plans with other people before they were actually fulfilled, those plans were never accomplished. Why? Because when you are speaking about your plans or your goals before achieving them, I don't know why, but it's like you are giving the power away. So this phrase right here, no one else has to know that you are doing the work except you. Keep your work to yourself and just share with others the results when the job is done. I avoid speaking about my plans with anybody other than myself. So yeah. Then in chapter 5, he speaks again about blockages a little bit more. Again, he speaks about this idea how to avoid worrying, because these blockages prevent your manifestations to come easily to you. So basically you do a ritual or a meditation to manifest something, and then all day every day you use your consciousness to focus on what might go wrong. Yeah, so in this chapter it's all about blockages. Okay. Another thing that I want to point out here is this phrase: some of the most profound things in life are also the simplest. I've reached that conclusion in my practice as well. If things are very complicated, it's not worth it. Yeah. In chapter 6, as the title says, the universe has no ulterior motives, and yes, things come to you in a pleasant manner when you start to put in the effort to control your thinking process, and obviously it will take a while to master, but it's doable. Another phrase right here is this: the key is to immerse yourself into an atmosphere of complete trust, even if it is just for a moment. This is an idea that I also seen in Neville's books. Another thing that I liked in this chapter is this one: we are impatient because we are secretly afraid that something will not happen for us, and therefore we want it to happen fast. Yeah, that's right. Okay. In chapter 7, the significance of it is done. Here Richard shares the actual significance of saying these words at the end of the meditation, which are these 3 words: it is done. And also I like the fact that he pointed out about the meaning of Amen. Okay, so when you say Amen at the end, of a prayer or meditation or ritual, what you are doing is actually you display Okay, your display of complete faith and trust in these universal laws you are relying on. So he says that when you say Amen, it should feel as if the job is complete. Sorry, but I got a cold and I had to drink some water. Yeah. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so I was saying about this paragraph right here. Basically, when you state Amen or it is done, it is how you feel when you conclude your prayer. Okay. Yeah, so this chapter is all about that feeling of completion, that you have to feel complete, that you have to feel that what you have asked for, it's already here and fulfilled. Again, this is an idea that Neville talked about a lot in his work. Again, he also, Richard, that also mentions Neville a lot. Remember that, as Neville puts it, feeling is the secret, and nothing is more important than it is done feeling. Yeah, that's really important. And yeah, this is the whole chapter 7. Then in chapter 8, Richard explains his process in detail, which is a very easy meditation. As you can see, it's that basic meditation in which you find a quiet spot, you relax, and after you take a few deep breaths, you proceed to visualize your desire or your or to state your intention. And he actually explains that you have to see yourself with your desire coming true and happening for you right now in this very moment, and not at some spot out there in the future. So you have to imagine yourself having the thing that you want in this very moment. And at the end, when you are satisfied with what you imagined, you say it is done. So it's a very, very simple process. But like I've said, things, manifestation doesn't need to be complicated. So he explains a little bit more in this chapter about this technique, which is very simple. And then in chapter 9, he explains how to use this phrase, it is done, in several situations. He shares here many stories and idea about how to use this it is done feeling and also this statement. And that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. It is done, and so it is. Now go live it like never before. Okay, so this is the book, and like I've said, you will find many aha moments in here, very simple ideas, but I liked it. I mean, in some parts of the book you will see that the author repeats himself over and over again, but if you don't mind that, it's a pretty good book that will motivate you to start to manifest things. So yeah, that's my review. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.